Hello guys, it's Teenage DC Fan back in another video, and Justice League Dark Apokolips War will be released this month, and it will serve as the conclusion to the DC Animated Universe movies. So, basically it's going to be the Avengers Endgame for this universe of movies, and it's going to be really cool. But just like Avengers Endgame and Disney and Marvel Studios, they're not going to stop making these movies after this conclusion. So unlike with the MCU and Avengers Endgame, whereas they're just going to continue the story, here we're actually going to be getting a rebooted DC animated universe. So basically we're going to keep getting DC animated movies, but they're going to be completely different and new compared to what we've seen before. So they basically want to get a fresh take on everything. And yeah, so I'm excited to see this. But we have some information now about the next animated movie, which will serve as a soft reboot here, or maybe a complete reboot. But we have a first look photo, a synopsis, and a very impressive cast list. So let's jump right into this. So the synopsis, let's check out the top here. The story will pick up with young Clark Kent interning at the Daily Planet and essentially learning on the fly how to also be Superman and save the city of Metropolis from a series of major threats from Lex Luthor, Parasite, and Lobo. So, obviously it does mention some of the cast there, but I'm going to get into that with, the cast list. But based on the story, you can definitely tell that this is a reboot because this is telling a story of Superman when he was basically just starting off, when he was a young Superman, young Clark Kent, and that's why he's interning at the Daily Planet, so he doesn't already have the job there with Lois Lane or anything like that. But speaking of Lois Lane, maybe that's what we'll see in this movie. We'll see him form a friendship or relationship with her, and then they'll grow into a romance at some point. Whether that happens in this movie or further down the line remains to be seen, but that'll be interesting to see. So as you can see, he's also learning to be Superman and learning to fly and learning all his powers. So I'm thinking this is going to be kind of similar to Smallville, because that's kind of what that whole series was about, was Clark Kent learning to be Superman and learning to be a hero and using all of his various powers. So that's what this movie is going to be about. And if you know me, if you followed my channel for a while, you may know that my favorite part about any superhero thing is the villains. And we have some great villains for this movie. Of course, Lex Luthor, because, he's Superman's archenemy. But then we're also getting Parasite, who's not necessarily like an obscure Superman villain, but it's just a character that you don't really see that often. So, nice to be seeing him. And then also Lobo, very cool to be seeing him, because we haven't seen him much either. The last time we saw him was on Krypton, and then that got canceled, so yeah. But as for the cast list, it's right down below that. We have Darren Criss as the Man of Steel himself. Didn't see this coming. When I first saw this, I was like, is this a joke? But now that I know that it's about a younger Clark Kent, I think it makes sense. Definitely not someone I ever would have imagined voicing Clark Kent Superman, but who knows, maybe he'll be good. The only thing I've seen him on is Glee, so hopefully Superman doesn't start singing for no reason. But yeah, next up we have Zachary Quinto as Lex Luthor. So I said when I said impressive cast, I wasn't fooling around. This is a very impressive cast. Darren Criss and Zachary Quinto already. That's great. Then we've got Alexandra Daddario as Lois Lane. So like I said, Lois Lane maybe starting off the relationship there. Brett Dalton as the main man Lobo. Alright, cool. Ryan Hurst as Parasite. Ike Amadi as Martian Manhunter. Ooh, that's interesting. So we'll be seeing Martian Manhunter in this film. Neil Flynn as Jonathan Kent. and Bellamy Young as Martha Kent. So, once again, going along with the whole origin of Superman kind of thing and him learning to use his powers and stuff. Of course, you gotta have his parents in there. And maybe this movie will feature the death of Jonathan Kent. Maybe that'll be how it ends, or maybe that will be what motivates Clark to become Superman and become this hero. But I think the really interesting thing about this part in the cast list here is Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter is one of my favorite Justice League members and DC heroes. I love him on Supergirl. I've loved him in all these animated movies and stuff, so I'm excited to be seeing him here. I don't really know how he fits into the picture and why he's there and not like Green Lantern or Aquaman or some other character like that. So I'm not sure how he's going to play into the story, but I'm definitely excited to see how he does. So yeah. This movie sounds like it's going to be pretty interesting based on just the synopsis and the cast there. But then here is our first look photo. Alright, so there we can see Superman and Lex Luthor standing together. And this really confirms even more that this is a reboot. I mean, it's a completely different animation style. And I actually really like this new animation style. It looks really good because it looks cartoonish, but at the same time realistic, because it almost feels kind of 2D, which usually I wouldn't like, but I kind of like it here. Obviously it's going to be 3D and it's not going to be completely 2D, but it just looks that way from this still, and especially compared to the previous movies and how they've looked. So I really like this new animation style and what's going on here with these characters and everything here. And by the way, as you can tell, this first look does come from Entertainment Weekly. So yes. So Superman Man of Tomorrow looks like it's going to be a great film, and I'm super excited to see this. We don't have a current release date. All we know is that it's going to release sometime this summer. So Justice League Dark Apokolips War comes out this month in May. So I assume, I don't know, maybe like July, August, something like that. That's just an estimated release date from me. Just a possibility. I really don't know. But what do you guys think about everything that we've found out about this movie so far? Superman Man of Tomorrow. What do you think about the cast list, the synopsis, the new animation style, and the fact that they're doing a reboot to the DC animated universe? So thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hope to see you in my next video, so I bestow all my DC knowledge upon you.